Okay, I think we're live. Yeah,
What up? What up?
Yes, we are. Okay, we're live, peeps. What's happening? It's your boy Patrick Tyrant from Everyone's a Pundit. Today I'm hosting the show. Semps is taking I told Semps, you know what? Chill a bit. Let me step up to the plate. So I'm here now, man. And we've got a lovely panel today. Some fresh guests. And yeah, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. So we'll start with T Dot. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. T Dot, host of the PTTW podcast. You can find us on Twitter. Yeah, Chelsea fan.
And what does that stand for? Just so the people know, because they might not
Play
know.
to the whistle. Yeah, Play to the Whistle podcast.
Play to the Whistle podcast. It's a big pod. T Dot's obliged me and stepped in today, so I'm very grateful. So thank you and welcome to the show. Okay,
yeah, appreciate it.
Cheeky Dash.
Yeah, we back in the building. Yes, it's your boy Dashiki Dash, aka Dasher Sports. You can find me on YouTube on my weekly show. I give you all the sports updates and trending stories and stuff like that. So you go and check me out on there, man. But yeah, glad to be back on the Views, the official platform, and I appreciate it, Pat, man.
Thank you.
It just throws at the perfect time.
The pleasure. And the last, but definitely not least, Ty, please talk your talk.
It's definitely. Did you just introduce me as Ty?
Sorry, what am I talking about?
That's you know what? That's strike one, boss. That is strike one.
Yeah.
100. That is strike one. I was gonna give you an easy show on your first show, yeah, hosting. But that's out the window now. Hold tight, Ty. Hold tight, Ty. You just on the show with.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I moved my mouse and then it closed the screen, so I had to so it threw me off. So apologies. Please, yeah.
Like I said, strike one. So yeah, hold tight, Ty. Though, hold tight, Ty. Yeah, it's DJ Daps, the host from Never a Foul, similar to T Dot's. Is it T Dot?
Yeah.
What was yours again?
T Dot. Yeah.
Play to the Whistle, Never a Foul. There we go. Exactly that. But yeah, so Never a Foul. And of course, Manchester City. So I'm here saying it with my chest. Top 4. That's all we want.
Come on. Not being humble. Come on. Top 4. You don't walk that years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm not sure about that. But all right, let's start this show because, like I said, we're all boys here and we just want to talk our talk and talk some football. So let's start with T Dot. So can you talk us through the Super Sunday game today between you guys and Man United? Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, you know what? Before the game, I would have taken obviously 3 points off United all the time. Do you know what I mean? 100%. But the way that the game started, yeah, it was more like both teams were scared to drop points today. Do you know what I'm saying? Like sloppy passing from both teams, and there weren't really, I can't really think of too many chances in the game where like things were happening. Do you know what I mean? Like I think Giroud had a good chance with Hudson-Odoi kicking the ball in, crossing it into him. I think Ziyech might have had a good chance as well. Good save by De Gea, but a lot of it was more passing. There wasn't really much happening. And I think that was because United were happy to settle for a point. They were happy to just come to Stamford Bridge, get a point, go home. Whereas we needed them points. Exactly, man.
It's what they've done. If you look at it so far, they're like the amount of 0-0s they've notched up against top teams this season.
Yeah, they don't beat the top 6, man. They don't even score against them. I think the only one they've probably scored against is probably Leicester, I think, or Tottenham.
No, it's Tottenham. They scored the Tottenham.
6.
Yeah, man. But like the game itself, though, like I think it showed signs that there's stuff that Tuchel's doing there at Chelsea that's working. Obviously, from when Lampard was there, do you know what I mean? He's changing a lot of things, but I still think it's early days for him. So there's positives to take out of that game, but I feel like at the same time, yeah, like there's got to be more conviction in attacking. Like he's got the defense working pretty well. But now we need to start thinking about how we're going to get Werner playing well, how we're going to start getting Havertz playing well. He doesn't really understand who he can choose out of Giroud and Tammy Abraham. I think he got it right today. I would have started Giroud because we've got a big game on Thursday. And you know what I mean? But I just think at the same time, we've got to we've got to be beating these teams. United were there to be beaten today. You know what I mean? And we dropped 2 points today, man. So I feel like I'm gutted a little bit because I feel like we could have closed the gap. What is it? 46 United have got. Well, they did have, and then we had 43 or something like that. So we could have been closing in on that gap, but just one of them, man. I got to take the positives. It was good to see Christensen have a good game. Kante had a good game. Yeah, exactly. He had a good game. Kante had a good game.
Clean sheet, didn't lose. But what would you say? There's a few people out there saying that what is it? Your coach Tuchel, TT, plays quite a defensive / negative game, saying that he doesn't try and score a lot of goals. You lot essentially put the handbrake on in recent weeks. What would you say to that?
I don't know. I don't agree with that. I feel like when we were, you got to remember, this is a guy that's come in and he's inherited all the things that Lampard put in place. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's not going to be able to undo all of that overnight. And he's only been in the job for 6-7 weeks now. So there's a lot that needs to be done. And we're talking about a lot of players that have come into a squad off the back of what happened with Lampard. And you've got to get the best out of them. You've got to find out how to make it work with them as well, make them click. And none of that's going to happen. So I think, the goals haven't been there. We're not going to be mashing up teams like 6-7-0 anyway. That's not what Chelsea does, really. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what? On that, I'd say two things on that. Firstly, that if I'm talking either of them teams today that went with intent of scoring goals, it was Chelsea. Yeah. Chelsea were probing, United were playing like a mid-table team trying to hit Chelsea on the counter, where Chelsea were probing. Secondly, the way I see it with Tuchel at the moment is like he's come in and he's working through the gears. Like he's fully working through the gears. He's come in, he's settled it. He's got Chelsea winning. Yeah, most importantly, all right, not sensational results, but he's got them winning. Yeah, but secondly, if you look at Manchester City this season, we're not scoring mad amounts of goals. The first thing Pep had saw after last season was the defense. So Tuchel, he steadied the ship. Yeah, he's made that defense is playing solid. I think you're right. Hold tight, CFCJ in the building, big Chelsea fan. He's a big Havertz fan. And I think he's right. The minute you get Havertz playing in the right position, the minute you get Werner scoring 1 or 2, things will click.
I agree.
It's obviously as a Tottenham fan, but just talking from a football standpoint, I think he's come in and done a really good job because obviously Lampard was sacked because you guys weren't performing to the best of your ability. Tuchel's come in and he's inherited a hell of a squad in terms of there's so much attacking talent there. And it's going to be hard to distribute the minutes and keep everyone happy. So to be fair, he's done a good job to come in mid-season, and you guys are picking up results. I don't believe you've lost the game onto him yet, have you?
We haven't lost. I think we've conceded 1 goal. I think one goal. We've conceded 2. Sorry, 2 goals we've conceded. One was an own goal. So he's doing the job, man.
Yeah, he's coming and steadied the ship. We played some good games. Good teams. Obviously, Atletico Madrid getting a result last week. That was impressive.
Big result. Big result.
You've come in, you beat Tottenham. You've obviously got a draw today. I can't remember all your results, but obviously you haven't lost. So that says it. That says enough as it is. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where you guys finish, and obviously what the rest of the season has in store for you guys. And then when you
I was going to say, when you touch on the squad as well, at the beginning of the season, in this exact room, I said that I thought Liverpool would challenge. At that point, I was in a meltdown over Man City, mad meltdown, because we hadn't worked out who we wanted to sign as a centre back. We just lost to Leicester, I think 5-2. I was all over the show, and I said, for me, Liverpool would win the league, and I said the only team I can see challenging them based on the squad is Chelsea, because I think Chelsea's squad is up there with Manchester City's.
It's up there on paper. He's up there.
If you look at teams that have a player in every single position, Chelsea have a player in every single position. The only thing I think, and this is only unfolded through this season, the only thing I think Chelsea are missing, or the only thing working against them, is they've got a lot of young, inexperienced Premier League players. So they're either young or they haven't got much Premier League experience. The ones that they do have the Premier League experience aren't the vocal ones. You've got Kante. Well, Kante's not going to say boo to a goose. So I think they get 1 or 2 more experienced like players, and it's mad because like I was saying to someone, I'm not saying go and sign James Milner, but you see when Liverpool signed James Milner, yeah, when they're getting towards the latter years of their career, but they're winners. They've been in the Premier League their whole career, and they've won stuff, yeah, and they can come in and Chelsea just need them 1 or 2 little bits of Premier League experience, and obviously the ones that have just joined them come of age next year. They're going to challenge next year. I do believe Chelsea will challenge next year.
I have to agree, man.
Yeah, especially that money. They're like us. They got that money. They're going to spend this summer.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with Abramovich. He'll see a hole, or obviously the manager will tell him this is where we need to strengthen, and he'll go out and do it. And I love that about owners that are proactive and obviously always want to build and stop making excuses and go and invest in the team. And that's why I feel Tottenham, that's where we let ourselves down. We have an owner who doesn't really invest in the team, and we've got a chairman who unfortunately wants to make it all about himself instead of just stepping back and letting the guys who sign the players sign the players.
You know what? I just heard you saying that on Extra Time, and I thought, okay, we're gonna talk about that, because when I was on View from the Skywalk, our Tottenham channel, I said that exact thing from watching the Amazon program. And 1 or 2 things there was one in particular that stood out to me when Danny Rose had the interview with Jose, and he said to Jose, I'm going to speak to Daniel about this. And I'm thinking, hold on, how is a player telling his manager, I'm going to go above your head and speak to your boss? Like, that was such a move. This is all about Daniel. This whole program is about Daniel. Like, but
it is.
You know, you're not as bad as the Glazers, so, and you're definitely not as bad as the other team in North London. So,
whoa! Hold up a second.
No, you'll agree with me. I'm talking about your owners.
Nah, you see the owner situation.
Change his tune quick, then, innit?
Nah, as much as I'll try and defend my club, when it comes to the owner situation, I gotta hold my hand up. And the way the Cronkies are, and you've seen in terms of their other outfits and the way they run their clubs, it's a completely different to how the Premier League clubs nowadays need to be run. You know what I mean? Obviously, we come from a line of being quite successful in the league, winning championships and all of that kind of stuff. But then in the time period that the Cronkies have been there, they've not really wanted to build a dynasty or try to build winning teams. We've come from an invincible team to what we're at now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of mad because that whole winning thing. If I was to ask you how many Premier Leagues you've won, is it 3?
Yeah.
T-Dog, how many you won at Chelsea, bruv?
3 as well, I think now.
No, you've won 5.
5. Jesus.
5. City win it this season. We've won 5.
Yeah.
And then you start looking at Arsenal's 3 and you start thinking, hold on a second. But it is your owners that are doing it. Wenger protected them. Yeah.
100%.
Your owners are the issue at your club. They're ruining 100%. Your club. I honestly believe it. Whereas
the situation with that is like, a lot of like yourself, you just said it there. Wenger protected them, but that was the one thing that we were upset about when it came to Wenger, because it came from a point was that exactly what the club needs. Someone like Rafa Benitez, when he was at Liverpool, he was screaming and shouting and saying, "Look, if you want me to compete with these guys, I need to be spending X amount. You can't be telling me to be trying to go for championships and then United over there able to spend 60 mil on a player and stuff like that." So as good as Wenger was like trying to buffer up and trying to keep the board like, in a quiet space, he should have really put his foot down and really been like, nah, man, we need to be heading in this direction, because like you just said it now, Chelsea have had 5 championships. City are now going to be verging on their 5th. And we're still on our 3rd Premier League title. So there's a lot to be had with Arsenal, and hopefully, I don't know how it's going to be in terms of our ownership, because we've got all of these rumors about Dangote being the new owner, and he's going to be trying to push for a takeover, but we don't know. We don't know.
Dash, what would you say to Chiz's comment, which is quite interesting? He goes, he'd have to agree with Daps. We are, as in Arsenal, are the worst ran alleged elite club in the world. What would you say to that?
Man, we don't handle our transfers properly. So if we want to talk about things like that, we've been in many positions to, like, you know, grab players or buy players, and we've not done that properly. You know, the whole Suarez situation, that wasn't done properly. Yeah, we're not run well. We're not run well. And effectively, it's shown. It's shown ever since the Kroenkes have been in command, in power. It's definitely shown. It's definitely shown.
What would you say to? Because obviously you always see Arsene Wenger coming out recently and saying, "Oh, I had this guy in my bedroom." You know, like, "Oh, we took this guy out to dinner and we almost signed him." Like,
yeah.
Hey, Ronaldo, Yaya Toure.
First and foremost, you see these stories about players almost signing for clubs. It happens with all of our clubs.
Yeah, real talk.
It happens with all our clubs. You know what I mean? You'll be hearing a club, like, for example, if we even just say like William was almost about to sign for Spurs. He didn't sign for Spurs. He went to Chelsea. You got all of these kind of stories, but for some reason, I don't know how popular Wenger must have been back in the days, but he had the pick of the bunch. And unfortunately, he just couldn't. You know what I mean? It's like a guy that's going into a club, you're chatting to all these things, and then by the end of it, you're coming home with nothing.
So it's mad, isn't it? He's buying bottles for everyone. He's sending.
He's got the table. He's got, come over to my table, man. Yeah. The girls are drinking all the drink. At the end of it,
nothing at the end of the night.
All the other clubs are just taking them.
They've gone with the hoodman outside. Gone with the man in the Nike Air Max and the hoodie outside at the end of the race. Fully.
There you go. So it's just it is frustrating to hear them stories, but at the same time, it's one of them things. You know, Arsene Wenger had a big enough pool, but I think since we lost David Dean, I think that negotiator factor was lost with Arsenal.
Listen, I had Coach Kojo on one of my shows on Friday, right? And we were talking about Man United. We were talking about Man United and the issues at Man United. And he said exactly the same as you about United. And people forget about it, right? People talk about since Fergie's gone, right? But when Fergie first went, can you remember the man that went with him?
Was it
Mike Phelan?
David Gill.
Oh, okay.
David Gill did all of their transfers and pushed everything through. The minute he went and Woodward came in, they've changed, and they're like United. They're like Arsenal now. They're no longer a club that makes signings for football. They make signings for commercial reasons.
Business.
That's it. And like you were talking about how Arsenal aren't run correctly. I like that because we're here to talk about football. As a business, Arsenal run sensationally. Like they run really well as a business, but we're not here to talk about business. We're here to talk about football.
Yeah, it's definitely a gold mine for the Kroenkes. And like I was saying about the whole Dangote, talk about him takeover. I can't see Kroenke literally looking to be selling up because that funds all of his other projects. See the Rams, you see all of them other stuff that he's got going, it comes from Arsenal. You know what I mean? So the money that, like even throughout this period of time, Arsenal are still making a load of money. And it's mad to me because it's just like, how are we still making money like this? It's incredible. But it's just all back to the Kroenkes.
I have an Arsenal shirt. I have an Arsenal football shirt, just because your shirts are so sexy, bruv. Like your shirt.
No, we do.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Do you know what? He's right though. He's right though because you see Arsenal, You see Arsenal. How many times have you seen us change up our warm-up tops?
Bruv,
we've done it about 6 times this season already.
Like, you ever seen them?
Week after week, we've got a new top.
Have you ever seen them T-shirts that say something like "Eat"? What is it? Eat, drink, sleep, repeat. Yeah, you could do something like that on Arsenal's season. They start the season off all right, then they turn fucking shit, right? And they're like 3 games left. They'll have 3 good games, right? And then they'll go into the transfer window. Their fans are now saying, you know what? We don't really need to buy too many players because we ended the season really, really well.
Nah, that's never the talk. That's never the talk. We always want players. We always want players.
They released 6 shirts, couple of training tops, one special for the carnival, yeah. And Arsenal fans will buy every single one of them. Start the season okay, transfer window shut, shit again. And repeat.
But the business model works, man. The business model works for the minute. That's their business model. It works. You understand?
But it's pain for you, man. I feel you. When you're playing El Nani against Gundogan, Rodri, De Bruyne, I feel for you, bruv. I really do.
Yeah, well, we're in a position where we definitely need to be getting rid of the dead wood. I'm just hoping like now, in our worst probably position that we've been in for the longest time, that it gets to that point where we can get rid of these players and try and build on it. So it's definitely a building process for us at the moment. And we just got to be patient because we're not like Man City. We're not like Chelsea, where we're going to be going to throw out the checkbook out there. You know what I mean? So it's easy for the Man Cities of the world to just be talking where you can just spend 60 mil on a left back that don't play. And if it don't work out, then you start saying that, we got to spend another 60 million. So
you know what?
It's very easy.
Put Chelsea in that mix as well, because Chelsea and our bench, like Chelsea's bench today and our bench yesterday, we were about the same. It's mad. It's beautiful,
mad,
isn't it? It's
I can understand Chelsea because they just swap their managers around, so it's expected to see if a new manager comes in, they want their own team. But with Pep, boy, I don't know, man. I don't know how much he needs to spend.
But you touched on it earlier. What a club should do is, if they want the best manager, you get the best manager. And I'm going to move away from football right now. If I'm managing any business, I'm looking for the best manager. The best manager comes in. He spends, and this is actually what your manager is doing right now. When you get good managers, they come into the club, they come into the business. They find the employees that are crap, and that's what Arteta has done. He's found the people that don't work with his system, right? And then it's up to the owners to back their manager.
I 100% agree with that.
Pep is being backed. Arteta is being backed.
100%. 100%.
It's going to take Arteta probably 4 times as long because he can. Whereas you look at City's first season. I think we finished 3rd. First season under Pep, we finished 3rd. We got rid of
4th. I think it was 4th.
Possibly, we got rid of Hart, and we got. And basically,
all of them players there.
All the man that could play out from the back, we got rid of. All of it, right? And then went and you look at the summer afterwards. We bought a new keeper, we bought a new left back, possibly 2, a new right back. We bought everything Pep needed, and then the next season we broke records. So the problem is that Arteta is trying to do the same at your club. But the problem is, it's going to take him longer because firstly, he had to get rid of 800 bags off of your wage bill, right? Which he's done, right? Secondly, he brought in Gabriel, who started the season well, not looking so great now, but who knows? He brought in he brought 3 players in. He brought in William, workhorse maybe, and then he brought in Partey. Now the issue I think you lot are really having at the moment is the Partey issue because you brought in a sensational player, and because of injuries and whatnot, you're not getting the best out of it.
It's not working, man.
Yeah, the thing about it, it's not going to happen overnight, innit? And that's the reality of things. That's even just bringing in Partey, bringing in players like Gabriel and stuff. It's not going to happen overnight. But I think for us this season is just to be able to see what's his style of play. In terms of what you have now, can you show us obviously your style of play? Can you show us exactly what you want to do? Then when we go into next season, then obviously you're able to then get maybe 1 or 2 additional players to then fit into the system. That's obviously going to push on from next season. Next season is really going to be a telling season for Arteta, regardless.
Do you think he's the right man for the job, though? Do you think Arteta's the right man for the job in terms of what Arsenal need to build on and can the board not investing in him because they don't want to put that trust in him? Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
do they trust him to bring the players in?
I think he is the right person for the job based on the fact if the board back him. I think any man, it's like you get manager at Chelsea or whatnot. If the board are not backing the manager, then so what's the point? If the manager goes into it's based on the board. Like, so for Arsenal situation, when there was all this talk about sacking Arteta, and the reason why I was so strong about not sacking him is like Arsenal knew who they were bringing in. It's not like, oh, you didn't know what Arteta was about. You knew that obviously he's an inexperienced manager. So why would you then invest in that manager if you are then going to sack him like the following season or whatever? You got to back him. So give him the tools to work with. You know what I'm saying? You've got to give him the tools. You've got to support his philosophy, support what he's trying to do. If you've then done that, you've invested in that, and it don't work, then the experiment or whatever it is that you want to call it then doesn't work. Then you move on. So, and this is the thing about sometimes with the sacking of managers sometimes doesn't make sense to me, is because it's like you go and buy this manager, you bring in a manager, and then you don't really invest in the time that it's needed. You can't expect Arteta to try and turn things around that's failed under maybe 2 previous managers ahead of him.
Not with the squad he's got. Not with the squad he's got.
You got to remember, you got players that have not done well under Arsene Wenger. Wenger left. You got players that have not done under Emery. Emery's left. Now you've brought in Arteta. You can't expect him to turn things around straight away. But
you know what it is as well. I would say.
So I was saying, once he gets the things that he needs, the players that he needs, and if it still doesn't work, then that's when he fails. But the ball.
How long's he been there though? How long's he been there now?
So this is his 2nd season now.
He's been there for like 50. He's been there for about 50. To be fair though, he's been there 15 months. He's got a trophy.
He's got allegedly 2 trophies, depending on who you talk to.
How long's Jose been at Tottenham for?
18 months, about the same-ish time. About that.
No trophy.
Jose came in November 2019. So yeah.
At the same
Jose, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Thank you, Bob. And you know what?
Semi-finals.
Ole can stay there for 6 years. They ain't getting no trophies. They're not even worth talking about.
Wow.
Real talk.
Are you just saying that because you're a Man City fan, or you?
Nah, bruv. No. Listen. I swore I wouldn't. I was on a show on Friday, and this is about the 4th time I say it every single time I speak to people. I don't hate United, because I grew up in an era where United was so dominant that I can't really hate them. Their fans are allowed to talk crud, because when I grew up, they were on crud. Like, they won so many leagues. Like, I get it. I grew up north, round a lot of Manx that supported United. I get it. I don't like Arsenal fans because now I live down south. Most of my brethren are Arsenal fans. They talk crud. They have no reason to talk crud no more. Like, 15 years dominated. 15 years dominated by Chelsea and City. Before that, it was dominated by Man United. Like I said, no disrespect to Arsenal. They're a bigger club than Manchester City. I get it, right? But if we look at, like, I don't know where their golden era was, because it definitely wasn't Premier League, because they only won 3 leagues. So that's no golden era, right?
You see, our situation is we came in a period of time. There will be no rivalry like an Arsenal and Man United rivalry.
Now listen.
Hold on. Premier League. When it comes to the Premier League, there is no. You can say what you want in the time that you've won your title. Hold on.
Nah, this isn't about City. Listen. Cool.
No,
carry on. This isn't about City. I'm not going to mention City. This is not about City. You're going to say that.
I'm saying the reason why we talk is because we come from a place that we can talk.
Counteraction. Any Man United fans that are in the comments, If I ask an Arsenal fan who Man United's biggest rivals are, they will say them. You see, if I ask, like, I grew up in Manchester. It's different. It's not about football, bruv. It's nothing to do with football. It's to do with territory. Any Man United fan, Man United's biggest rivals are Liverpool and Leeds, because they sit either side. It's not Arsenal. Arsenal, little period, like I said.
Of course, you're saying that's exactly what you said based on territory. I'm talking about in terms of like Premier League era, in terms of like Premier League rivalry. it's Arsenal and Man
Now,
United. Man United.
you're an Arsenal fan. You will say that as an Arsenal fan. You will say
I
that.
think it's got to be Liverpool. You know, I'd say United. Liverpool is a big.
United.
We're
Hold on. United and Liverpool never went toe to toe for the leagues in the Premier League.
Yeah,
Remember, Liverpool are just obviously just winning the league not too long ago, but it wasn't never. You never saw it in the sense of them going toe to toe for the Premier League. That's what I'm talking about. Like obviously they have their leagues because they've won. You know, Liverpool won the majority of the leagues in the 80s and stuff like that. And obviously the Premier League era is dominated by United. Yeah, I get that, but in terms of rivalry, United Arsenal, man.
For a hot minute, for a hot minute.
Because if you think about it, like even in your City's title winning times, who have you had a real rivalry with while winning the title? No one really.
No, not really. We're just like to be fair. Like I said, the last 15's Chelsea and City. It's factual. Like it's not even debatable. Like,
between each other.
Nah, I wouldn't say so.
It wasn't.
Listen. But if you're trying to make this about City's rivals, I'll be 100. I'll come on here and say it with chest. Like we're a small club, bruv. It's beautiful that we rattle people when we're such a small club, bruv. Like it's funny, bruv.
You know what? You see City's rise. It's never a rattling business because you know what? Chelsea.
No one cares.
Chelsea already paved the way for all that spending money business.
The mad thing is, everyone says no one cares, but everyone cares that they're not winning anything. Like,
no one could.
City's a club. City's a club that is. Like you said, it doesn't have close relation to other. Like you don't bother us as Arsenal fans.
No, we have close relations. We have close relations with the community. That's what we have close relations with. And right now we have close relations on winning a lot of trophies. Like it's beautiful. And all of us can sit in our homes, having a little drink, watching us win everything.
Hey, listen, man.
And everyone else.
It's about winning trophies, though. I hear that. There's 3 teams here that definitely know that feeling, barring one. But yeah, it's all about winning trophies. You know what I mean? You got to. At the end of the day.
Don't worry. Jose's here, isn't it? Jose's here.
I'm sure as a Chelsea fan or as a City fan, the feeling of whether it be a parade or you get to see a bus go down the high street, whatever. That feeling is great, man. But certain teams ain't had that feeling for a very, very long time.
I don't know who you're talking about, bruv. I don't know who you're talking about.
No, we'll say it here, Spurs. We'll say it.
Moving on swiftly. Let's talk about today's game, Dash. Leicester 1, Arsenal 3. Talk to us. Before you start, Dash, did you feel confident going into the game? Did you feel that you had a chance to, how did you feel going into today's game after?
Honestly, after obviously the Benfica game, and already talk from that was that we was going to be resting a load of players and obviously trying to switch it up. The likes of Saka, who's been immense for us this season, having a great player.
Yeah, I think he's your player. To be fair,
Smith Rowe as well.
100%. So
Saka's a different talent,
Yeah. So a load of obviously that kind of talk when you come off a European game, a tough one at that, because obviously it was a touch and go whether or not it was going to make it through. I thought Leicester obviously coming out of Europa in their game, I thought they would have been real hungry to kind of prove a point. So going into the game, I wasn't 100% confident, but it was good to see how we responded, especially going a goal down yet again, as we have been as of late. Just obviously to kind of show that we went a goal down, but we kind of showed, the hunger and desire to not sit back and just accept it. And, lucky enough, if things went our way, there was the penalty decision that when you actually look at it, the Ndidi just touching Pepe just outside the box, it was a free kick. It was close, but at those times you're just thinking things like that are going against you, especially this season.
Always.
That VAR, it hasn't been giving us the rub of the green, but lucky enough, obviously getting a penalty again, 1-1. I knew once we would have got the goal back, we was going to take them because they're missing the likes of Maddison, who's been integral for them as well. And I just felt like we were on to them pretty much throughout the game.
Oh shit! Dashes.
Just in his moment, that was his Martin McCall moment as well.
Missed the moment there, man.
while we wait for Dash, I'm gonna Daps, talk to us about Man City. Obviously, you lot are flying at the moment. What's your thoughts about the Champions League? Because obviously you would say that for Pep and you guys, that's the holy ground. Let's forget the league for a moment.
It's not. You know what? The maddest thing is, amongst City fans is not the Holy Grail. That's the maddest thing.
Pep needs that though, man. Pep needs that trophy now.
No, we need it. We need it. We need it, man. We need it big time, because right now, like I said, we go equal with Chelsea on leagues, but we can't talk to them because they got European trophies. Like we've got one. We've got, again, any Arsenal fan that tries to come to me on the European team, we've done the same as Arsenal in Europa League, the old UEFA Cup or something. So some dead thing. The mad thing is with City fans, and like I said, we're a small club. Like a poll was done on City fans last season. What would you rather win, the Premier League or the Champions League? City fans vote Premier League. Like, our mentality is small, bruv. Like, it really, really is. People don't understand it. Beginning of every season, when I say we're just happy with top 4, like we don't
believe that. I don't believe.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not downplaying. We want the Champions League, so I want to be able to say with chest we've done something that other teams haven't. But you know what it is? Yeah, there's this whole thing with, like, I was talking about United the other week. If they would have beat us in the Carabao Cup semi-final, they could have knocked on and actually won something with this group of players, But until you win something as a group of players, you don't believe you can do it deep down, right? Same, we beat United in the FA Cup semi, then we went on, won the FA Cup, then the next season we went on and won the league. As a group of fans, we do not believe we can win the Champions League. We might be favourites every single year. We don't believe it. Do we need to win it? Fuck yeah. We need to win that shit, like, fully, bruv. And when you look at seasons like this, where you have other teams that are usually dominant, like, we missed a trick last year. We should have pushed for it last year. But if I'm being 100, if someone said to me, you got 5 bills, you either need to put it on Liverpool winning the Champions League or City winning the Champions League this season, despite the form we're in the league and the form they're in the league, I'm still putting the money on Liverpool, bruv. Because them man know how to win the league. Even they won the Champions League when they've had average Premier League seasons. We've had amazing Premier League seasons and still gone out the Champions League to Tottenham, bruv. Come on, to Tottenham. Like, come on. How we expect to beat Juventus or Bayern when we're going out to Tottenham, bruv? Like, come on.
That was a crazy series because the amount of chances you lot should have scored or goals you should have scored. Hugo Lloris saving a penalty, the Sterling VAR goal that was ruled offside at the last. It's crazy. It was just one of those.
But it's you know what? I could be an Arsenal fan. I can talk about all the decisions going against us, but swings and roundabouts, bruv. I'm not on that. Let Arsenal fans talk about decisions going against them. I don't care for that. Like, we've gone out because we haven't been good enough. Like, let's be 100. We look at the Lyon game last season. Pep had a fucking mare, bruv. Absolute mare.
Definitely.
Like, it's like in Premier League, he respects no one. In the Champions League, he shows too much respect to everyone. Like, it's just, and that's again. So the problem we have in the Champions League is not just the fans' mentality. Our manager has the same mentality now. So
I think sometimes Pep overcomplicates things. Like him. You guys have an amazing squad. Pep is an amazing manager. Usually he gets it right, but when he starts tinkering too much, that's when things go wrong. And I thought last year in the Champions League, he kept tinkering too much. It was like he was overdoing it. So,
what was it? I think we knew Leon had pace.
Yeah.
So he changed the way we were playing to play with the slowest play. He brought in Garcia, like the whole Garcia thing. To me, that was probably partly the reason why I was switching at Pep beginning of the season. What? Because Barcelona want him. And you got a little link with Barcelona. You're playing him in the Champions League. Like, the guy's like, he can play ball a bit, not as good as Stones, but he's got no pace. Like, and he just made some silly decisions in the Champions League. This season, should we win it? I mean,
it's a tough one because you still got Bayern Munich, and
Bayern Munich won, man.
Still got Bayern. They're a problem.
Yeah,
but we've seen them. We've seen Bayern lose games they should win this season as well. Like everyone, but then obviously I pip us against Barca and Real at the moment. But for me, the dark horse I still wouldn't want to play Liverpool because in the Champions League, Liverpool have the mentality we don't. And I just feel like Juventus, hold on, Juventus have got a second leg soon. They lost the first leg, right?
Yeah, they lost the first leg, but they're still in it. They're not too far out of that one. But then, yeah, you're right.
I just fear Juventus a little bit because of the fact that like Ronaldo's there. To be honest with you, and
he can change a game on his own, innit?
Yeah, I fear that. I fear that. But we need to win the Champions League.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that. I had to change up the device. Madness here. I just broke down on me.
We were just talking about Man City and the Champions League being a holy grail. Like how the fans feel about that, and yeah, basically, how does he feel this season about their chances in the Champions League? So,
but this is the thing, and if you ask me, I'm sat here still thinking once we win the Premier League, I'll kick back and the rest of the season is what it is. That's what as fans, it sounds so mad. It sounds so mad, but it is the fans' mentality. Like, we just want to be the best in our land. We don't think we're good enough to dominate Europe yet. We do not believe that. So
is that how you lot are feeling as City fans, yeah?
It's how City fans feel. You can ask. The poll was put out. It's mad, and I think we use excuses like we say we don't get on with UEFA. We don't like how UEFA did the whole. Remember when I think it was Spartak Moscow or something, racially abused Yaya, and then got banned from the game.
Would you say that's what Pep?
It's all excuses.
Kind of thinking of at the moment.
No, Pep wants to win it. Pep wants to win it.
He needs to win it. He needs to win that now.
I want to see City win it, man. I honestly want to see City win it. I think the football that you've served up for us, and you know, in terms of your championship winning sides and stuff like that, you deserve that Champions League, man. I think it's just something that needs to be done for you guys, and it needs to be done for Pep as well, because all of that talk that you can't do it without Messi needs to kind of be put to bed. But it's just and you know
what? While we touch on Messi, just really quickly, I'm a City fan that does not want Messi at my club next season. However beautiful it sounds.
Nah, come on, we gotta have Messi. We gotta have Messi in the Premier. One season. You know what? And you know what? Season. Just give us one.
I'd let him come just to entertain the Premier League, yeah. But if I'm 100, like we got Aguero when Aguero was like 21, 22, and we've got a mad amount of seasons out of him. We got Silva when he was pretty young. I would rather we spend that money and that wage bill
100%.
Getting someone
De Bruyne.
Seasons.
Boosting De Bruyne's a wage pack.
However, I do believe the stars are aligned. Messi wants to go to America. We've got a club in America. It will probably happen. I don't want it to happen, though. I don't think it's.
Do you think it's signed for New York and then come over like Lampard did?
No. I think from what I've heard is it's some like 2 years Premier League, 2 years New York.
Way around. You'll be at City first, then you'll go to America.
And the link up apparently, like Suarez and him have been speaking for years about they both want to end their careers back over in the MLS. So
okay, interesting.
But
give us a season of Messi, man. Messi got to come Prem, man.
He'll get shut down every game. He won't. He'll just. He will though.
But will he though? But will he?
Yeah, but he's not gonna have the time on the ball.
Listen. When I was younger, City had a player. Yeah, if I don't know how old you man are, but when you get off YouTube, Georgie King Clancy. Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, we know King Clancy.
And if you see him, my man's ball control was like Messi's. It was like the ball was stuck to his feet. It was sensational. And if you watch YouTube clips, you'll see him take on a whole team, put a sensational ball in, then our shit forwards like hit a try, right? We got relegated when we had him, and I just fear with someone like Messi, like exactly what you said. Like when Rodri came, Rodri thought he had 10 days on the ball and was just getting the ball taken off him. I fear that Messi could come and he's not Ronaldo. He's not got that mentality like Ronaldo.
I think a lot of people underestimate Messi. You know what I mean? I think just because we see him obviously do his thing in Spain, and we always told that Spain, you got too much time on the ball and stuff like that. I think he's quality enough to be able to adapt. Plus, also, I think City would find a way to play to his strengths and to protect him as well. And you got Pep there as well, man. So yeah, man. It'll be very interesting to see, because you know the whole talk is just like we've not seen Messi outside of the Liga, innit? So that would be the first thing, is that for him to come to the Premier League at, tender age of what is he now? 33 now?
34.
Like by the time next
34.
Yeah,
so
34.
we always say it, regardless of who you are, you could be whoever. Like, you coming into the Prem to 30, this is not a retirement league. This ain't the graveyard league, you know what I mean? So when you come here in your 30s, you need to come and bang. So he will be judged based on, like, there's no blending in period for a Messi. You need to come here and show your chops straight away. So
you need to have fitness like Zlatan if you want to touch this league at them ages. Like, real talk.
Yeah.
I think he'll be fit enough. I think the problem with him is that, like, I've watched him when he's played for Barca and come to play Champions League games. It's a different environment and all of that. That's cool, but he's never really lit up against an English team that I can remember.
Well, it's mad. Did you not see that stat recently?
Yeah, if you look at his record,
it was a stat recently. Yeah. He's one of the highest, like, against Premier League teams. He's one of the highest goal scoring, like, including Premier League teams. Yeah.
Well, I remember that one game where Chelsea were just trying to hack him down. Remember that game where you just chopping him down, and that was one of his best games though, because he was just bouncing back up, showing you guys.
Go on.
Sorry, no, I was going to say the thing with Messi is that he doesn't really run around. Like, you'll see him, it just literally, he's a statue for most of the game, but he knows when to come alive. And when he runs that play, has the ball.
Listen, if he came to the Prem, there's no way we're going to be expecting him to be taking on 5 man and then doing them. He doesn't even do that a lot nowadays. You adapt, and like you said, he'll be finding a pocket of spaces, coming alive, especially the way City play with the tiki-taka-esque kind of style that you have got. You'll find a way, man. He's too quality of a player, man.
If we sign Messi, we need to bring Nigel de Jong out of retirement, and just let him be Messi's bodyguard. Let him just play like American football, just pushing man out of the way and let Messi run through. Because otherwise,
listen, the situation will be like this. If obviously Messi going into the last few months of his contract free, whatever pay pack you lot give him, it will be too much of a opportunity for you to miss out, especially it being even commercially as well. You'll do it, man. If the opportunity is there to be done, it'll be done.
Yeah, I feel.
But listen, man. As a City fan, to be able to say that you had Messi at your club, that in itself, it'll be something for you to just hold on to, and you'll be like, "Yo, man, we have one of the goats there."
It's what our manager and our sporting directors were brought in for over the last.
I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised if the Premier League chimed in, man, because they'd be like, "Yo,
yeah."
TV
I think the whole
deals, TV deals. I think each club even will be like, you know what, just take some of this. Like, just take this. Like, we need you to bring it in. You know, without man, can you imagine that? The whole of the world.
Yeah. All of that. It has to be.
It's a brand, isn't it? It's a brand, man.
The brand will be out of this world, man. You know what I mean? Timbuktu would have the Premier League live streaming.
But Dash, going back to you got cut off mid flow. So we were talking about Leicester and Arsenal.
Sorry about that. Just I won't take too much time on the game. Just basically, I think in terms of spirit wise, we showed a lot of spirit, not laying down after being obviously a goal down. And I think today, even when I was watching a lot of the fan TVs, I won't try and mention the specific ones, but it was dubbed as the side men's that are coming to kind of prove their value, the likes of Willians and the El Nenes and these type of Pepes and these type of players, obviously gaining the opportunity to kind of show their worth. And you know what? Williams had a lot of grief. I don't think he's made it quite easy for himself as well since he moved from Chelsea, because a lot of the talk that's been coming out is like, he didn't really want to move, but he ended up moving. So that kind of talk, along with like not performing well, it's not worked out well for him. But in the last couple of games, obviously coming on against Benfica, and then obviously today, he showed like a sign of a player that you would expect to be performing at this type of level with the experience that he has. So he really good performance. I think he set up 2 goals. You had Pepe as well. The thing about Pepe is that I still feel like he's playing like in 3rd gear. Like, and I don't know whether he's got a 4th and a 5th in him. But today, playing in the 3rd gear kind of stuff, you know, he had a decent game and got a goal as well.
No,
so it was good. It was good to
terrorized Leicester's. Was it their left back or right back? He terrorized them, and I
you know what? I watched the game, and a lot of people said he terrorized. I don't think I just thought like he had a really decent performance, and a performance that a manager would be happy with, because obviously a lot of the times he's you know, previously what he's lacked in is the defensive job as well, you know, getting back, getting up and down the pitch as well. But it's, you know, there's still that taking on that man one-on-one and burning him, and, you know, doing the skills and what, you know, in the final third when you really need to show your worth. I still feel like he's still got that to give.
He did that today. I thought he did that today. I thought he looked
a lot of cutting it, like, you know, you cutting inside and go along the pitch and then pass off. Yes, but look, I think one thing with Pepe is he is a player that thrives on like confidence. You see it when if you get a Pepe, you try and bring him on second half or something like that, you're not going to get the Pepe that you want. If you start him, he builds the confidence, then you start seeing him performing. So I'm just going to highlight the good things that he did.
Yeah, no, I put a tweet
the positives
today. So I put a tweet out earlier today saying that Leicester were the first team that made Pepe look like a 70 mil signing. So
I was going to say that.
Listen, he's had some decent games. I think my favorite. My favorite game, to be fair, was against West Ham. I think that was probably his best game in Arsenal colours, West Ham away. But look, I think at this stage of the season, it's just about building the confidence, showing. I think Arteta even just showing the players that, you know, what he's trying to do is working, and building that momentum, because now, you know, the Europa League is kind of a do or die for us. So as well as we can be performing in the league and just going up the table, and if you think about it now, not to kind of put any comparisons to teams, but, you know, we were not too long ago being laughed at being in a relegation battle or whatnot, but we're like 3 or 4 points off certain teams that were, you know, riding high in the league. So you never know how we could end this.
You're 5 points off us, so yeah, 5.
Yeah, no, I mean just yourselves. You know, I mean, even like look, Liverpool are like, you know, they're in the mix of like the Europa spaces and stuff like that.
Bro,
but I'm just saying, in terms of,
we were 5 points behind you, and now we're like 23 points above you, bruv. So
it's mad.
Listen, right back now for us, we just need to just get as many points as we can. If we're able to finish in a Europa spot, then we've done well from where we came from. And if we are able to go as far as we can in Europa and try and win it, then it's a trophy that I would welcome all day long. And then obviously the opportunity to win to be in the Champions League will be phenomenal. So
it's the easiest gateway for you at the moment, man.
Yeah, that in itself is really, I feel, is the aim to try and get into that Champions League via the Europa. And it can only be, I reckon, the only way we can get that is by having good performances in the Premier League. If we're building that momentum, we're building that confidence. By the time we get into the Europa, we should be okay. But look, there's a load of good teams still in the competition.
You know what? You know what's worth speaking about today, though. That you beat Leicester, yeah, which were in the Europa League and obviously are in. Well, they were. I don't know. Are they still top 4? They dropped out of it now.
Yeah, they must be top 4 still.
They're in top 4 still.
No, they're still in it. They're still in it. They're third.
So you beat Leicester, yeah?
Yeah.
Without Saka and without Aubameyang. Worth speaking about, bruv.
Yeah, that's what I said. You know, it got dubbed like the sidemen's, you know, auditioning for the team. But equally as well, you know, I feel like we got Leicester at the right time as well. No Maddison, which is a key part of their team. But at the same time, we just got to face the teams that are ahead of us, innit? So we could easily have gone to the King Power and lost that game. But it's a good result for us. Good result. Send a good kind of message out there.
Yeah, it's a strong
3-1. You know, 3-1 is a very strong result. So listen,
Trust me, they beat us 5-2, bruv, I know.
in terms of our run, you know, obviously Man City, then the Benfica games, and then obviously looking at Leicester. When we was looking at it on paper, it was just like, man, this is going to be a tough run. But you know, we've come out of the other side looking quite decent, not too
wouldn't speak
damaged.
so soon, though, man. You got Olympiacos, and in between them 2 games, you got Spurs.
Yo,
so it's going to be tough,
listen,
man.
And these are the games that we welcome when you come off the back of good results. If we came off the back of bad results, then you'd be like, oh man, we can't see where the sun's gonna shine. You know what I mean? But obviously, coming off the back of these results is quite decent, you know. And even just to throw the Leeds game in there as well, you know, on paper, people would be like, nah, man, Leeds would have taken Arsenal. So I feel encouraged, and I feel like we play our best football when our backs are against the wall. So we'll see how it goes, man. Olympiacos game, that's a revenge match for us because, yo, the way we got taken out of Europa last season was ridiculous.
I think you lot will beat them, man. You lot will beat them over 2 legs. I can't see them knocking you lot out.
I think firstly, you lot showed a lot of heart in the Europa League. That's like, although you scraped through and it looked a bit hit and miss, the fact that you did come from behind, that's a big thing. I think secondly, unfortunate for you that if Tottenham and Liverpool wouldn't have got results today, then your result would have looked a lot bigger today than it actually does.
Of course.
It's still
we've been the thing about it is like we've been in those situations. Even there's one time I think it was like maybe like 3 points behind Spurs at that particular time. We went on the back of 2 results that we should have won that would have boosted us up there. But we can't really be looking at that. Our season is not dependent on whether or not we're going to be finished. Well, in terms of like obviously finishing in positions, yes, but in terms of like bragging or we're finishing above this team or that team, it don't matter for us. We just need to just accumulate the points that's needed for us to see how far we finish. You know, in a way that just kind of gives us the confidence for next season to be like, all right, cool. Now these are the players that we need. This is what we need to secure. These are the players that we need to get rid of, and then push on from there, man.
And going off the back of that, because obviously it's a great result for Arsenal, but on the other side you got Leicester, who always seem to falter around this time of the year. Obviously they went out.
100%, man.
Could I just say,
especially Brendan Rodgers?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know what that situation is? I think as last season showed, is like teams like your Leicesters, and I think this has been discussed on views before. You know, like the expectation for Leicester. There's no expectation for them in it. So in terms of their squad, it's never going to be strong enough to maintain it. As soon as their first 11 is kind of cracked, then you start seeing why you need a squad, why teams need big squads, like good quality squads. Because when you start getting to the business end of the season, this is where it shows where you need to be able to maintain. Now they've just lost Maddison. Imagine that's just one player that's been key to their team.
And Harvey Barnes.
I think Harvey Barnes came off today.
And now Harvey Barnes is gone now.
And Johnny
as well,
Evans as well. Johnny Evans came off.
Johnny Evans is huge. Johnny Evans is huge.
So now you start seeing the bench and you're saying, okay, who's the players that are going to come in and replace, and it's difficult.
Yeah,
man.
another example of that is another example of that's Villa. Like,
100%.
Everton are the same as well. Southampton are the same as well.
Yeah.
The first 11s, if they've got their first 11, you're like, boy, these are real good, solid teams. But then, as soon as they start missing 1 or 2 players,
my question to you boys is, especially let T-Dot have a say. With Brendan Rodgers, he's looked at as like a great manager, and a lot of fans from other teams are envious of him. But again, last year they crumbled and bottled it at the stage of the season.
Don't say it right, he choked.
This season, they're looking like they do it again. Do you think Brendan Rodgers is given too much credit, T-Dot, or do you think he is a good manager?
No, I think he's a good manager. I just think he gets the best out of a decent team. Do you know what I mean? Or a fairly decent team. I don't think Leicester should be where they are in the league, if we're being real.
Yeah.
No.
If you look at that team on paper, it's not the best team at all. Like you look at Chelsea's team. All right, Liverpool have had injuries, but even so, they shouldn't be like Leicester shouldn't really be above them if you're talking about big teams and big squads and that. So I feel like Brendan Rodgers is a manager that is almost. Do you know what I mean? He almost wins the league. He
Then he
almost
slipped.
gets. Yeah. So there's do you know what I'm saying? No, like he's one of them managers that probably just needs to go to a club that can offer him what he needs.
What, like Liverpool?
Yeah, but you see, you see when it was Liverpool, that was just a one-off, man. If they don't slip and then they don't let that free, was it a Palace when Dwight Gale and all of that? So all of that doesn't happen. They win the league, innit? So that's just one of them mad situations that could happen to Chelsea. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think Brendan Rodgers is a good manager. I think the problem with him is
the problem with him
is though. Exactly. And the problem with him is that he's always kind of just gone to clubs that are just all right. Do you know what I mean? Celtic. Didn't he have the Swansea job for a bit as well? Obviously Liverpool. So he's been at these clubs, but he hasn't really done anything at them. He's just sustained a bit of like momentum with them. Do you know what I'm saying? He hasn't really done anything. So to answer your question, I think he's a decent manager. But it'd be interesting to see him go back to a club like Liverpool and invest in a club there and see how he does now after all the experience he's had elsewhere and see what he does there and see if he can win something.
There'll be a one just to quickly touch. Yeah, I was just gonna say that I think that the one thing that you would say about Brendan Rodgers is if you look at him as a manager and why other fans are envious of him or want him at the club, whatever you want to say, is he plays really good football, man. And he gets the best out of the players, like in the situation that he's in. And I agree with that. I think maybe it's a situation. Not every manager can go there and work miracles. You know what I'm saying? Not every manager can do that. I think sometimes you have to really align yourself with the team that's going to be the best for you as well. You know what I mean? And I feel like with Brendan Rodgers coming back to the Premier League and taking a Leicester job is, a foot into the Premier League again, show what he's about. And then hopefully he get the the likes of maybe even an Arsenal or Spurs or.
But he was linked with you, man, last season, wasn't he? When you went for Arteta,
he was
heavily linked with you, man.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was linked with Arsenal.
So
I think that would have been a better fit as well, though. I think he would have suited Arsenal for the way he plays. I think you lot missed the trick, man. I don't think Arteta's the guy, but.
We don't know, man. We don't know because in a year or two, it could be a hit or miss with Arteta. So I think we just got to see. We've got to see where.
Look what Ashley just asked in the comments.
That's a good question.
Ashley just asked, would Brendan leave Leicester if he was offered the Arsenal job? What do you not think?
Yes.
Not now. No, not now. Right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think
right now.
You got to remember Arsenal. I think Arsenal is still a big job to take up.
Yeah, it's a bigger club, but
and if you're able to succeed at this big club here, your name, his name would not. If he wins the league or whatever, his name won't ring around like that. Or if he's as successful as he can be at Leicester, his name won't ring around the world. You go to Arsenal and you do a half decent job, your name is around. People are like, oh, okay, Brendan Rodgers at Arsenal. Brendan Rodgers at Leicester doesn't do nothing for him. So
if Emery hadn't been at Arsenal, I'd agree with what you're saying actually. But the fact that you've had managers since Wenger's come in and they haven't been able to do it, what would make you think that Brendan Rodgers could do that though? That's for me. I don't think he would change anything different at Arsenal than we
were just rating him as a top manager in the style of play and what he can bring to this. So. Clearly,
if the board aren't going to back Arteta, though, I rate him, but the board aren't really backing Arteta.
But that goes for any manager that comes. The question is whether or not he would leave Leicester for Arsenal.
I don't think he would.
And I feel like he would. I feel like he would anyway.
So you see what? This is something that I've touched on this before, with managers and the Arsenal job, right? And you see, when top managers go to clubs, right, it's the same as we've all been for job interviews before, and they tell you what they want to achieve, and then they ask you if you've got questions, and your question would be, and what are the resources that you're offering me to achieve this, And this is why I think Arsenal, maybe when Arsenal have said they want their Simeone back in the day, they were being linked with, and they were being linked with the ex-Juventus guy that's free at the moment. I can't remember. Allegri.
Allegri.
Yeah.
See, when these managers go there and your board hits them with, well, we want to finish here and you're going to have this much, right? This is why certain managers don't end up at Arsenal because, and I think with Brendan, because Brendan was heavily linked with you, but if he's like a manager of that caliber, and I'm not saying he's the best, but they're going to have certain demands off the club, like a budget or a scouting system, or the fact that the club want to achieve, like we want to win everything or whatever. And certain managers like, I like that. I'm going to go for that. My worry with Arsenal is that your board, are not matching these managers that the fans want, like expectations, whether it be what they want to win, whether it be budget, whether it be scouting system, all these different things. Like, and when you say you're right, 100%, Arsenal are bigger than Leicester, they're bigger than City, they're bigger than
100%.
most. But that means bigger risk, And if you're going for a bigger risk where you lose a couple of games and the whole media, the whole fan base is on you, but you're being given crap resources to hit these achievements, you'll just be like, I'm good, I don't want that risk. I'm going to stay at this little club where I've got a good scouting system, bit of a budget, and
might get Champions League.
Right. Whereas Arsenal, you lose, you have a season tops and not much resources, and then the whole media, the whole fan base is coming down on you.
You know how I can flip that. I can give a good example, and Tuchel said that himself when he went to Chelsea. When they asked him, like, "You're coming to a club, you know to yourself,
you know, budget out of this world." Like,
no, but listen to this though. They asked him, you know to yourself, when you come to this club, if you don't even perform for like 5 games or whatever, there's already talk about your neck is on the line. And he said, yeah, I know that. That's the expectation that comes with this club. And this is a team that can give you full resources. So it doesn't matter. Like when you're at a top club, the pressures.
Yeah, but that's why that your neck's on the line for that reason though. Because if they're investing in you, they're giving you the money. Let's not lie as well. Like say that like Lampard had a lot of resources, lot of things going right for him. He still wanted to go and get Declan Rice, all of these players and all of that. But we still spent what 230 million, 250 million. And when you spend that kind of money, your neck is going to be on the line from the moment you take the hot seat. That's it.
You know what?
You see with Arsenal, You see with Arsenal, I see it more in the sense that Arsenal go for managers that they kind of want to have more control over than it being the other way around, where they get
100%.
a manager that comes in and then
you couldn't do that with Brendan though. I don't think.
It's
no. You know what it is
when you're talking about a manager playing.
Is Tuchel's been scarred yet? You see, when I say scarred, has he been sacked by a club or moved on from a club yet?
Yeah, PSG.
Yeah,
PSG.
Got rid of him because he made
Christmas
and Dortmund.
He fell out with both clubs.
Well, in that, because that's the thing. Like Brendan Rodgers is the same. Like when a manager's experienced them type of things, sometimes like I believe with Kevin De Bruyne as a player that he's been scarred by Chelsea, and that's why he will stay loyal to City. And I think with certain people, when they've been scarred, they're like, I don't want to be scarred again, so I'm going to stay loyal to the slightly smaller club, where I'm here. And I don't know, Brendan Rodgers might have a lot of ambition. Arsenal are a bigger club than Leicester, I agree with you, but it's whether your board are matching what he wants, bruv. And I question it.
I honestly still think that there are managers and top managers that will still want to take the job, because you as a manager, so if you're a top manager, you still believe in yourself. You still believe that, you know what, I can go there, I can make the changes that's needed. I can obviously get the best out of these players and stuff like that. Then that's your opportunity now to be at a club that is a big club, you know what I mean?
100%,
so
100%, because they even say, I mean, for example, Chelsea, a lot of people say it's a poison chalice. Why would a good manager go there? But why would you?
Still go there.
So many big clubs in the world, and there's only so many clubs that will have a budget and go out there and actively spend. So even though Roman is ruthless, if you do well there,
you're still gonna go there, You're still because Tuchel's thinking to himself, I don't care if people are the money obviously, but you think to yourself, you believe in yourself, innit? If you're a manager, you still believe in yourself. You're like, man, I can go there and do bits.
The wickedest thing is, look at Jose, for example. Jose's like, well, if I don't win that, and I'm going to get paid 30 mil to leave this club, so I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there, win fuck all, and take 30 million and be good.
But you
Like,
see
so-
Jose's situation, yeah. You know why for him is an ideal situation. Not only obviously he was just sitting in the Sky Studios doing some dead punditry. He had the opportunity to come back into the Premier League. He had the
In
opportunity to obviously to be in London, so he doesn't need to move too far. And if he even just wins, just even let's just say the League Cup, you know that he would turn around and say, boy, that's the most that they've won in God knows how long. And I brought that to them. So even if he left like the day after, he'd be like, I brought them a trophy.
Nah, he's like
in
that, 100%.
in a time span of whatever in it. So for him, it'll be success either way.
To
One
be
set
fair
point.
to Jose, yeah. If to be fair to Jose, even if he did do that, then fair enough because we haven't won a league. We haven't.
No.
won a trophy
I'm not saying for you guys
but-
as fans or anything like that. I'm
Yeah,
just talking about in terms of him
No,
as
I
a
get it.
manager,
And,
personally
yeah.
for him, yeah.
But yeah, now talking about Jose, we'll go on to Tottenham now. Obviously, we won today 4-0, Burnley. Yes, it's Burnley, but it was still a great result, to be fair.
It was a good game, man.
Scored 4 goals against them. Yeah, it was an entertaining game. From minute one, we obviously played on the front foot. We played attacking football, the brand of football you want to see with the players that we have. And I was impressed with Jose because he just went with the obvious choices. Bale's looking good. He started him. Son, Kane.
You know, been screaming out for Bell
Yeah, exactly.
starting as well.
He needed that game, though. He needed that game today.
Yeah, he needed that game. It came at the right time. Do you know what I mean? Because Bale has looked good in the last few games, but in the Premier League, we wanted to see him do it. And from minute one, and obviously Burnley being Burnley. Well, to be fair, Burnley have had some decent results this season, so you know they're not as bad as people make
I
out.
think as soon as you scored within the first 2 minutes, that just showed
Curtains, innit?
it was curtains for Burnley. And the one thing I liked about you guys, funny enough, today, is that you was ruthless.
Yeah,
You was ruthless in how you just put them. Like there was no messing about. And I think some of the games that you've been in is like you scored the first goal and then you've taken your foot off the gas, and then you've allowed maybe the goal before halftime, and it's 1-1, and then you're going into the second half. You know, today you just showed like, you know what, boom, let's just kill this team off, and then move on to the next games. So
and
yeah, man, kudos to you guys.
Because Tottenham fans were all screaming what lineup you wanted to see today.
Yeah, and we basically got that. Other than I wouldn't have started Sanchez, to be fair. Even though Sanchez had a great game, I didn't
Still
want to
alive,
see him in that starting lineup.
But ain't he the better partner for Alderweireld though? I think Sanchez is the better partner.
He played well today. He played well.
Yeah, you get the power and pace. But I wanted to see a partnership of Tanganga and Roden. I wanted to see Joe Roden actually get a good run out. Because he's not eligible for our Europa League squad.
Mad that, innit? That's mad.
May as well use him then, innit?
Ridiculous. It's stupid. So I wanted to see him play. And yes, Tanganga again hasn't really played much, but he's powerful, he's pacey, he's looked good when he's played. I wanted to see those two play together, but I understand it's a big risk to inexperienced players playing in.
Who was your right back today?
So
Serge Aurier.
So how do you feel about the current situation with you've got Serge Aurier? Obviously, you weren't too confident in him. You've then gone and bought Doherty, and now you just don't have no confidence in him. And then you're playing Tanganga as your right back.
Yeah, no.
Like,
to be fair, Tanganga played because Serge Aurier was injured, and Jose has no faith in Doherty. So even though Doherty was fit and available, he went with Tanganga.
I told you about him, you know.
So
I told you about him.
So who signed Doherty? Was Doherty a Levy signing, or was he a Jose signing?
You know what? We'll never know, innit? But by the looks of it, it's looking like it was a Levy signing, 15 million.
100%, man.
And he not. Jose doesn't trust him, otherwise he would be playing in
fully
the games. He's
treating him like Luke Shaw.
Yeah, I think it's a Levy signing. Exactly, the Luke Shaw.
You lot fell for his the way he was quite attacking at Wolves. But I always said defensively, when you go to bigger clubs and the spotlight is on you, then you get found out. There's a different ball game because now we look at you thinking, but bro, it's all good going up there and crossing the ball and stuff like that. But bro, what about defensive? You ain't showing defensively.
And listen, you don't Jose, you're done. You don't defend.
Yeah, it's true.
You're done. Like your days are done. Jose don't fuck about that. You get on the wrong side of Jose, your days are numbered, bruv. Like,
yeah, no, definitely. But with Wolves, he played in a back five. With us, you got to play in a back four.
Yeah.
We don't really play 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs. We don't really, we don't want to waste a body in defence. So we tried that a few times. It didn't work. So Doherty playing in a back four, he looks
Doesn't suit him.
It doesn't suit him.
Wolves used to play Traore as a wing back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever spoke about Traore's defended ever in life? Man talk about his baby oil. They don't talk about his defending, bruv.
That's his defensive mechanism, the baby oil.
He's like a wham. He's like a dark skinned wham Trent. Like,
Pat, did Dele Alli come on today?
Yeah, he did, man.
About 25 minutes. He looked okay. He looked decent. So
What do you think? What do you think his role is going to be from here on out? Obviously, he was very ecstatic with his goals in Europe.
Yeah. Well, that bicycle kick was sexy. That was a nice goal, man. That was a very nice goal. And he
like
looked
your
good in the
shirt.
Europa League. Sorry.
It was like the Arsenal kits, innit?
Stop it. Stop boosting Arsenal, man. We don't want to hear that.
Oh man,
We don't want to hear that, man. So yeah, but no, going forward, I hope Dele can play a role. I want to see him in that number 10 role, just behind.
You know what?
But is that enough for him though? Now we've gone from a player that was once lauded as the next big thing,
a bit like Jack Wilshere.
And now, well, boy, he can't be a bit like Jack Wilshere because Jack Wilshere was his injuries. Jack Wilshere was levels. This guy, there ain't no excuse for Dele Alli for the type of form that he's been on. Like you can't even say like his injuries.
I'm a defender of Dele Alli, because I feel like he's a victim. He's a victim of Jose because
you wanted to leave, didn't you? You wanted to move, man.
And the thing is, like, he had an injury. You've got to remember. When Jose arrived, Dele had just come back from an injury, right? And he never really got given a run. There is no way that a player of his levels, can hit the box like that and score that many goals and then turn that rubbish and manage. And this is a problem.
I think his decline was before that. His decline was in conjunction with like how
you know what? That's form.
Poch.
That wasn't a decline. That was just form. Then he got an injury. The thing is, that the problem with Jose is. And let's get it right. I'm not knocking Jose. When you lot got him, I thought, you know what, this could be the guy. When you lot were looking solid before Christmas, I was arguing with a bagger man on a podcast about this is the first time I think Tottenham might challenge because, yes, Tottenham are Tottenham. However, they have Jose, so it's a different thing. But the one issue with Jose is if he likes you, you're going to start. If you don't
benched
the first couple of games, your career is done. Like, look at Luke Shaw. How many years has it taken Luke Shaw to hit form again? Because he deads off players' confidence, right?
100%.
The problem with Dele is like they didn't let him go. He could have gone, and as England fans, we want Dele to get some form back because Dele was a goal scorer. Dele was a problem, And like at the moment, I don't really know what you do with him because you've kept him.
That's what it's going to be on him though. It's going to be on him as well though because I think with the opportunities that he'll be getting, he needs to just start performing.
I hear you.
Because if he doesn't, and if you've seen in the documentary as well, like Jose asks him like, "Yo, you gotta show me what you're about. You can't just be here cruising." And I think he's at that level as well where you really need to be showing what you're about. You can't afford to just be like, oh, you know what, I'm Dele Alli, I can just turn up when. No, man, you got to be performing.
Definitely not now. Like you can be like that for a minute, but it gets to a point where it's like, and that's the thing with Bale. It was almost like if Bale
had say that as well. Yeah, you got to be coming and perform. You got to show what you're about.
When I saw Bale against City, he had like a couple of little moments, against City where it was like, I remember that, like them quick feet and that, I went on the Tottenham pod, View from the Skywalk afterwards, and I said, if I was you, man, with the form you're in at the moment, in Europe, or in one of your next games, I'd be saying 90 minutes, go. I don't want to see no 45. I don't want to see no 50. And to be frank with you, I'm kind of saying the same about Aguero for City. Like right now, we should be saying, all right, so he started in Champions League. No, he came on Champions League for 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
He came on the other day.
Though.
He
Against
started.
Did you watch the game? Did you see him? I didn't see him. I think he was playing. I think he was playing Fortnite on the sideline, bruv. Like I didn't see him. But that's what I'm saying. He's a legend. He will always be a legend. But he's got like 2-3 months to earn a contract extension. His wage is too high for us to give a contract extension. If he is not like I've had this argument with stupid City fans that are saying about he needs a contract extension because he's still got it in him. Based on what? Based on what? We can't be spending 250 bags a week for 10 games a season. Can't happen. Might
as well use the money to better use, innit?
If we want to invest in Haaland, we need that 250 bags for that. Bruv. We can't be like Arsenal and giving man 5-year contracts at that age. We can't be doing that, bruv. So with Bale, this is what he needed. He needed this run to, and it's great timing because imagine Bale turns into Bale in the Carabao Cup final, bruv.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what you hope.
The
thing about Bale, though, the thing about Bale's situation is like whether you'll be able to hold up. You know what I mean? So he has to be managed really, really well because it's like you don't want to get too carried away with him where you're playing him all the time and then he breaks down and stuff like that. So you want him to just hit form at the right time. But
I think that's now the best.
I think it is now. But then you're hoping. So what we're now? We're coming into March. So you're just hoping in May and then the finals in April that you'll be able to hold out for that long. But I think just to touch on Dele Alli quickly, I think although he didn't get the move that he wanted, and maybe even the club were trying to get for him, obviously there was rumors about PSG, but now the fact that he's stayed at Spurs, this is the opportunity for him to put his head down and be like, look, I'm here now. So even if it's a case I want to move, I've got to show that I'm worth that move.
Prove himself.
If it's a case I'm staying at the club, I need to be showing my worth and the fact that, look, I'm good enough to be in this club. You know what I mean? So ultimately, although we're saying that Jose Mourinho kind of snuffs players and ruins players' confidence and stuff like that, this is an opportunity for him now to be like, you want to see what I'm about? This is what I'm about. So I think it's down to him.
And we started off the show talking about Daniel Levy, right? Now, Daniel Levy definitely has a bit of connection with Dele, right? So, and a bit of love for him, yeah? So maybe he might be like, you know what, you need to give Dele a chance. The fact that Dele hasn't been allowed to move, that was probly a Daniel Levy call, right?
Daniel Levy blocked it.
Yeah, he blocked it because he didn't get sorted out.
They said he had an Achilles injury.
He's been given by the chairman that go and prove yourself.
Yeah. You see the comment.
No, listen, he's definitely a player. Like if you got rid of him, you're missing out on quality right there. Like, he has to show it. He just has to show it.
You know what? And the other thing with Bale, and also if Dele does hit form, you know the other thing that does. You see Kane and Son at the moment; they've got a lot of pressure on their shoulders.
Yeah,
I've seen that at City. The minute De Bruyne got injured and a couple of players stepped up, all of a sudden it takes a lot of pressure because De Bruyne looked pressured this season. He looked like he had the weight. In the season, he looked like he had the weight of the whole of Manchester City on his shoulders. A couple of players step up, all of a sudden, like Kane being rushed back and all of that. Yeah, if Bale continues this form, if Dele comes back, bangs one or two, all of a sudden you'll probably find better form from Kane and Son again because they'll be like, we don't have that pressure on us. And
it's going to complement the two, isn't it? You're going to see them working well together.
Yeah. Come on, let's go back. Go back a couple of seasons and remember the Kane and Dele link up. Come on, that was bruv, like. So
and what you're saying is I agree, Daps, because today was the first time I've seen Son play with a bit more freedom in a long time, and he got like 2 assists. He was causing havoc because for the last few games, Son's not really been a factor. He's just been MIA. So
you know what?
And that's because Bale and other players are now coming into form, and they're kind of like taking, he can just chill out a bit, and he doesn't have to play with the weight on his shoulders, so to speak. So I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
it had to come to a point where you had to switch it up though, because that whole Kane dropping in deep and it's just being Kane and
It
Son.
wasn't working. I mean,
Teams figured that out. Teams
Yeah.
figured it out, and once they figured it out, it showed like in terms of like, okay, what now? And I think he went through a period of like, what now? So hopefully with this, you know, sometimes it takes a game for you to kind of change the tide and stuff like that. So you'll be hoping that with this game against Burnley, as it was mentioned, like it came at the right time for you, because if you lot had like a difficult game and then you lost it, and it'd be like, oh, you know, Jose Mourinho, all that talk again.
Burnley's not an easy team to bang a load of goals against at the same time. If we're being 100, the Premier League, unless you're playing Leeds are easy to bang goals against if you get it right. But Premier League. But I was just going to say another example of that is, and it's dropped off now, but is Pogba. That Pogba has looked bang average for a long time. Yeah. Did you notice when Man United were challenging? Not because of Pogba, they were challenging for other reasons. All of a sudden, Pogba came alive.
Yeah.
Other players had taken the pressure off. Before he got injured, Pogba all of a sudden was like, okay, we might win something. And okay, it's not all about me anymore. There's other players. You look at Pogba's best season, it was when Zlatan was there. And the spotlight wasn't on Pogba. So again, with Tottenham, if the spotlight is on Bale, you'll probably find that Son and Kane pick up their game again. And
poor Vinicius,
with Arsenal winning, it's a big win for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Poor
Nice
Vinicius.
Yeah, like Holly's saying as well, Kane wasn't really trying too hard today, but he had the freedom to mess about. Well, Kane should have scored at the end, and Son played him in. I can't believe he completely miskicked the ball. That should have been another goal.
Don't happen often.
Yeah, let him off, man. Let him off today.
Hey, listen, we have to let off Sterling most games, bro. Sterling's the most frustrating player in the Premier League, bruv. Sterling. I love Sterling. You can't argue in numbers, but damn, put that guy through 1-on-1, and he's going to either pass it, overthink it, mishit it.
I hear.
You can't knock it if they get the numbers.
He's a baller. When he has time to think, it's almost like Rashford. That's how Rashford.
yeah, 100.
He's developed though. He's developed from his time at Liverpool and that. So
you know what? This season in particular, I'm seeing a different Sterling. You're no longer seeing. I used to say that Sterling profited from the space made by the rest of the City team. He was an intelligent player that listens to his coach and he finds space. He drops back. And he benefits from all the runs from the other City players. This season, Sterling has started to mature and turn into an actual baller.
Yeah, he has, man.
He's not got as big a number.
He's showing you how much of a senior member of the team he is, because he takes the games now. Like, you know, he's actually obviously deciding games. He's taking like to the teams, scoring the vital goals.
It's just that maturity of him,
man.
You look at recently he's been captain us, and he's not like not like one of these shouters that's shouting at, like, it's not like Henderson just shouting at everyone. It's quite Sterling.
It's true though. No, it's true. He's a different captain. He's a different type of captain.
It's by performance.
Sterling as a person, is like one of the most interesting people to look at, because he's had so much criticism from the shit fucking English pro-white media, that fucking just go at him, and he took it for years. He just took it, didn't comment, right, until a younger got gone at. The minute a younger black brother got gone at, Sterling's loud, like, because he's like, I'm a proud black man that loves myself. Don't you dare go at youngers. Do not you dare go at youngers. Sterling is very
more vulnerable,
but he's a good captain. He's just not a shouter. He's just a leader. Wants to win, listen to managers, all of that. But this season, I'm seeing a different Raheem Sterling. People aren't talking about him as much, but if you are City fans, we'll probably say he's had a better season this season than the season when he's notching up numbers.
He's definitely had a mature season. He's doing a lot of stuff that maybe last season, like you said, snatching at chances, doing stuff like being a lot more intelligent in his play. If he can't get it. And if good, you know what I like about him this season? He would even banter about it. Like if someone else missed an easy chance, if someone else missed an easy chance, he'll go up on Twitter and be like, "Boy, lucky that weren't me, boy, because everybody would have been on me." You know what I mean? Because he knows
that just comes with the maturity, though, isn't it? That's
comes
just
with the maturity. He knows
as you develop as a
established.
player.
He's established. He knows where he's at. He's very confident in himself and stuff
Guy's a
like
confident
that. So,
brother. The guy's a very, very confident
I like
guy.
him,
Yeah,
man.
I could see him stepping away from City maybe as soon as the end of the season.
Really?
Yeah.
To go where?
Good. I don't know, because the only thing that would stop it is because I don't know where he would go. I do not believe he would go to another. I do not believe he would go to another Premier League team. Yeah.
Oh boy, that's
That'd be a step
huge
down.
curse here, boy. That is
No.
breaking news.
No.
You think that?
How long has he got left on his contract?
I think we wrapped him into a new contract pretty recently.
Yeah.
But if you look at his age is soon to be at that age where if he wants a big boy move abroad, it's going to be soon. The only issue is that it's not going to be Bayern. You'd probably say it could be Real or Juventus, maybe. But the state of the world at the moment, they probably couldn't afford him. So that's the only thing. But what I'm saying is, from his maturity, if you look at last season, the spotlight was Sterling. Yeah, it's not more.
So what you're saying? You feel like he's entering the a period of time now where he would be like going to a bigger club, like your not a bigger club, but going to a big club like your Barca's, your Real Madrid's. That he's now at that ability now that he can do that. Okay, yeah, I get that.
He's mature enough. He is a mature enough player to move elsewhere now and be confident enough that he has earned that right to go elsewhere. Yeah, but at the same time, you know what? The guy might actually like the fact that he's comfortable at Manchester City.
I think that's it, man.
And you know what?
Let's not forget, it's not always, the grass isn't always greener as well. So we see players go to like Real Madrid. Like, look at Hazard now. What's Hazard doing?
God.
Do you know what I mean? So we see players like that who go there and it doesn't work out.
I don't know. Raheem Sterling's proper interesting guy, man. Like I think as a person, he's one of the most controversial without being too controversial. The media have made him controversial. He's one of the most actual professional players you'll come across. And he is like the fact that he is not gifted like Messi. Yeah. The guy will score goals off of his shin, bruv. Yeah. But he will listen to his managers. He will put those extra hours in on the training pitch, no matter what the media want to say about him. Yeah. He'll buy his mum yards. He'll do all the right stuff, against all the odds of the media going against him. And he says nothing. He just gets on with it. And I think Pep for him was perfect. Like the fact Pep called him before he joined City and said, "You're a big deal to the team. I want you to go back to how you play football, not how previous managers have told you to play tiki-taka, all that." Like, he's just an interesting character, man. I think he's very big for City. He's going to be underrated this season. So,
Pat, quick one, just to go back on you guys. You see, obviously, as fans, it can be a bit flip-flop, as we know. Now the fact that you got this good result against Burnley, it's 4-0. How are you feeling about Jose?
I said on the podcast I was on earlier today, I said I want obviously Tottenham to do as well as they can do this year. If we win the Carabao Cup and even if we win Europa, I'd like to say thank you for your time, Jose. It's been wonderful. You've won us some trophies, and we invest in a younger, more exciting manager who can build us a project.
Because not giving one more season, huh?
Nah. I
like that. I like that.
He's bought in to win trophies. So if he's done the job, then see you later. Do you know what I mean? What else are we going to do?
You know what?
Jose? He's not someone you can build a project off. He's not someone that you can. He's not a long-term.
Jose's got a 3-year span. Yeah, he lost 3 years at a club.
Yeah,
he would have done what the other managers couldn't do. He would have showed the Tottenham players we got, that yes, you can win. And then we get in like a Nagelsmann who said he's up for coming to Tottenham.
Yeah, he has. He's been offered to you, I believe.
Exactly. So, and then we go again and we build, because Jose Mourinho isn't somebody that you can build off. And the football that he's playing, I feel that it's kind of passed him by now. Yes, obviously he can get a result, and yes, he knows his way around and blah blah blah, and he's proven and he's got X amount of trophies, but going long term, he's not the right guy for Tottenham Hotspur.
Next season is the meltdown season.
Have you stopped singing his song?
What, the Jose Mourinho song?
Yeah.
You know what it is?
I'll back Jose while he's here, but I don't think he's the right guy to take us forward. And I'll just be honest.
You know what it is? You know what it is with Jose, yeah? When he joined United, right? I said to United fans, listen, you man have been spoiled, yeah? Because you man haven't just been winning everything. You've been winning everything with a nice style of football, right? And then when Saf, greatest manager alive, as a City fan, I'll admit it, yeah? When he left, you got Moyes and you got was it who's the other one?
Yeah, Louis Van Gaal, LVG.
You had them, and that was nothingness. Then you had Jose come in, and I said, you know what? You'll probably win something under Jose, but this is you man selling your soul now, because you lot have this. So you lot have played nice football. You've now got Jose. You're not playing nice football no more. You might win something, not playing nice football no more. All right, they won the Europa League. Did they win it? I think they just won the Europa League, right?
Europa League, and they won the cup as well. Won the league.
So we're saying if you sign Jose to come to your club, is it selling your soul?
So yeah. And I said to Tottenham fans,
I said that as well. We danced with the devil when we signed Jose. We knew what we were doing, but we thought it would be worth it because we haven't won a trophy. So
this is the thing with Tottenham.
Job done.
This is why I rate Tottenham fans, yeah, because you see in like November, December, when Tottenham were looking, they were up there, and they were. And I said to a couple of Tottenham fans, "So what are you taking, Jose?" And they said, "Listen, we win the league, I'll take it. We don't win the league with this style of football, my guy can go, because we're not interested in that. We're not interested in that." And I rate that.
The fact that you lot were talking about winning the league just makes me laugh, man. But
I don't understand. No, I never said we'd win the league. I thought we would get top 4. I can't lie. I thought we were good for top 4 this year. It doesn't look like we're going to get that. But I don't want to sound ungrateful, because we are a team that haven't won in a long time. But I would rather say, you know what, Jose, you've done your job. You've been fantastic. Thank you. And then we get a younger, well, I say younger, he doesn't have to be young, but we get a manager that plays around the football that you can build off.
If you lot finish like 8th, 9th, yeah, and you didn't win the trophies and stuff like that, would you say that he should be sacked?
Yeah, I think even
100%.
now, I think Jose is underperforming. Yes, the players have underperformed, because we shouldn't be 8th or 9th. I think we're 8th now. But Jose has underperformed as well. There's been many a game where he's picked a weird lineup, or we've scored a goal or two and he's part of the box.
That's Jose all over.
Yeah, so it's a mixture of.
But the only reason I mentioned that is because there is no like, you're not really hearing the pressure that he should receive in his league position now. Like, he should for Jose. No, you're not hearing that. All you're hearing is this fact: if he wins the Carabao Cup, if he wins a trophy, but he's not getting pressure about his league position. That is.
So can I just flip something here? Yeah, and this is a genuine question, because I don't know your two clubs like this. How much has Jose spent?
About 100 odd million.
Okay, so he spent more than Arteta, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he has.
What is it? Is it by mad amounts, or is it similar?
Similar.
Can't be that far apart.
All right, so if it's similar, let's flip it, because right now Tottenham are in the Carabao Cup final and say they finish 8 or 9. So let's flip it. Arsenal aren't in the FA or Carabao, right? You're both still in the Europa, so you're in very similar positions. If Arteta doesn't win anything this season, should he go?
If Arteta doesn't win anything this season,
because it's the same.
I don't think the onus is on Arteta to win anything this season, though. I think it's completely different. There's the onus on Jose to win something, or to at least be in top 4. You can't compare the two. This is an experienced, well-decorated manager that is proven.
But you know what?
You're not expecting anything from Arteta, though.
No, but you can't compare it, because Arteta's walked into a club that, according to the fans, has a winning mentality. Jose's walked into a club that doesn't have a winning mentality, so he's got to change the whole mentality.
Jose's been at Porto, he's been at Inter Milan, he's been at these teams that
he's a serial winner, man. He's a serial winner.
You can't I hear what you're trying to say, but you can't compare it. The thing about Arsenal and Arteta, like situation is that you can see that Arsenal are trying to bide their time with a manager that they're hoping will do.
See, there's too much hope
do
and
something.
buying and all
You
that.
know what I mean?
In the Premier
No,
League
but
now, though.
I'm just saying in the sense of just like in comparison of the two teams, you know, the two clubs in the sense of like how they're dealing with the manager. Jose Mourinho is a seasoned vet, and the position that he's in, like it just baffles me in how he doesn't get the pressure in regards to their league position.
I think he does, man. I think he does. Even when he was at Chelsea and United, he got a lot of pressure at United. He got a lot of pressure at Chelsea.
They was
because
even asking
the reason why I said is because even just from you, Pat, just now, like your the talk is more like, oh, if he wins the League Cup, if he wins a trophy and stuff like that, you're not really too worried about. And you're saying that, oh, if he finishes in like the top 6 and stuff like that, you'd be happy with that. So that's what I'm just saying.
No, I never said that. I never said that.
You know, the other thing I would say.
So yeah, go on.
The one thing that we haven't spoke about with Tottenham at the moment, is that I do feel slightly Tottenham are at a point that they did not expect to be at.
100%.
Because when Tottenham moved to the new stadium, right, and before the madness that is COVID, Tottenham thought they were going to have a bag of money from all these different, from the Joshua fights, from the NFL, from all the conference, and all of a sudden, so you got to remember, Arsenal paid their stadium off. Like Tottenham are still in transition as far as from a business point of view. So at the moment, they do not have the money they thought they were going to have. They thought Bale was going to come in.
It's a big
loss. They
loss.
thought Bale was going to come in and be this marquee signing, like with a stadium that's full when there isn't football, with a Joshua fight or with this or that, and making all this money. And at the moment, they're going through a period where they don't have any fans, let alone an NFL, let alone all of that. So they have no money. You think they're going to get rid of Jose and pay him 30 million, bruv? Come on.
Just to go off. First of all, I wanted to touch on the Chiz point. Sterling being England's best player. I don't believe that. I think Kane is England's best player.
Agreed.
That's quite clear. Secondly, Daps.
Foden.
Everything. Foden.
I'm joking.
On the horizon, no doubt. Foden is a talent, and so is
a top quality player, man.
Same with Mount.
I can throw Mount in there as well.
Throw Mount in there. And Saka. Throw Saka in there. Throw Saka in there.
I said that. But going back to what you said, Daps. You're right. We forecasted so much money coming in from the Lady Gaga concert, Guns N' Roses, the Joshua fights, NFL, rare tear. All of that, COVID has completely scuppered our plans. So you're right. We don't have the money we thought we were going to have. When we signed Jose was a box office signing as well. I mean, our Twitter account went up by about a couple million just after we signed Jose.
Yeah. He's another brand in himself.
That's how big he is. He is a brand, literally. Like even in the documentary. You see him saying to Kane, like, you're here, I can get you to there. Like, he's literally telling them, you follow me and I'll get you to where you need to be, blah, blah, blah. But, you're right. So the pandemic came at the worst time for us. But saying that, Dash, I disagree with what you're saying about Tottenham fans being happy with 6. We wanted top 4 in the trophy this year. That was the marker, top 4 in the trophy. So Jose's underperforming 100%. The season's still going on, so we'll see where we finish. And even like I said, even if Jose doesn't get us in the top 4 and we win a trophy, I would be more than okay to say, you know what, Jose, you've done your job. Thank you very much.
Okay, fair enough.
Different direction. Because unless Jose's doing big bits, it's not sustainable football. The brand of football isn't great. Decision making hasn't been fantastic. The tactics are a bit. But, we're still there with thereabouts in regards to the league position.
You got to be in it to win it, as they say, man. You got to be in it to win it. And you're in the
final. We're still in Europa, so the jury's still out.
With Bale firing. You know what? The biggest luck Jose has had, because Tottenham fans, I rate Tottenham fans, first and foremostly. Going to White Hart Lane was a problem. No, come on. Going to White Hart Lane. It's not the library. I rate Tottenham fans still. They're loud, And...
that's rich, boy. Man City fans, this.
Come on. Our fans away from home, great. Our fans at home, dead.
Yeah, most clubs are like that.
I'm a realist, club. I don't act like my club's. We're just serial winners. That's all it is. But with Tottenham, Jose's lucky that that stadium is not full of fans, because your fans would be on his
I'll be onto him straight away.
Oh my days, yeah.
Some of the football,
He's
I mean, recently he's changed his philosophy, but yeah, when you're going, well, when we was away to Crystal Palace and we're sitting on a 1-0 lead for like 83 minutes, the fans would have been all over him, like, what the is going on?
You know what
I mean?
I actually saw a different Jose. I don't know if you noticed this, because it wasn't really touched on in media or anything, but you see when you played City at the Etihad,
Yeah.
Sky kept the camera on Jose before the game, yeah, and Jose stood outside the tunnel for about 5 minutes waiting for Pep and all of Pep's team to come out to smile, shake hands, be all nicey with them. That's not old Jose.
You see, this is what I'm saying. Is this his second season or his third?
Second.
Well,
So
like,
watch.
It's his first full season. He had
Watch the third season. I'm telling you, the first season syndrome is going to kick in. That is when it's going to come in.
You know what I like? I love seeing Chelsea fans and United fans giving Spurs advice about like.
Listen, it's coming. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming.
You man are a couple of games away from that media where he starts. You know what, right? So
Throwing everyone under the bus and all that stuff.
First time round at Chelsea, he was lovely. We all loved Jose, yeah, the way he stuck up for it. It was sick. Second time at Chelsea, first season, great. Then second and third, my guy had a meltdown live.
Yeah, 100%, man.
And then he never got over that. He went to United, and his full term at United was just meltdown. The guy turned into a prick. No one liked Jose no more. He wasn't a funny, cheeky chap. He was just a prick, right?
It's just
United and Chelsea fans are like, you know, it's like when you're giving your brethren that warning, like, listen, you see this chick here? Boy,
yeah. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming.
And you're like, no, she's good, man. She's good. Nah, she's a bad diesel, bro.
Last season was good. This season, so far, he's kept it all right, yeah? But I'm waiting a couple more games, because he's shown signs where he started throwing man under the bus a little bit.
Coming, man.
Bruv, when he starts having them meltdowns, you man need to distance yourself from that guy.
You know what? You know who's been thrown under the bus like the most, and it's not even just the one player. The way he goes out to the media to diss the defense. Oh my god! Can you imagine going back in the change room and you've just like later on in that night watching Sky Sports?
You
and
see
the
that
defense is getting, and you see that, you just notice. So I played in the defense that game, man, and I'm getting pissed.
The defense has been shocking. Though. Dyer has been abysmal, and
I don't rate him. He's not a centre back though, is he? He's not a centre back, man. Why is he even there?
You was rating him at the beginning of the season, though. You was rating him.
At the beginning, he was playing well.
Never rated that guy.
His form.
He's not a centre back, man.
Yeah,
he's not a centre back.
All right,
I don't get
and the
it.
thing about it is, like, he was beating his chest all of like the back end of like the last season. Obviously, then he got his chance to play as a centre back this season, and it's just like, man, if you're going to be beating your chest like that, you need to perform, man. You need to be shining.
Man's got the Titus Bramble syndrome, yeah.
I've never understood from the minute he started being put into that centre back role. I just wasn't getting it.
Doesn't make
With
sense,
the lowest
man.
mohawk as well. He's got the lowest mohawk I've ever seen.
And the thing is, yeah, that's called receding, bruv. That's called receding. Yeah. The thing is, it's like, it's not even just Jose that's seen it. Like Poch was playing him. I've never got the centre back thing with Dyer. Never got it at all. Like,
yeah.
But you know what? Actually, Dyer was quite good.
That's a good point, man.
He's good on free kicks. It's Harry Kane being greedy that doesn't let him take more. He's actually decent on free kicks.
He's good at free kicks.
Yeah, Dyer is a good free kick taker, 100%, but he just doesn't take many.
He scored that one goal in the England international. He's been gassed ever since. I've not seen him convert a good free kick since.
Are you man missing Trippier?
Close. Sorry.
Are you man missing Trippier?
Come on, he knows they are.
No, I don't think so. I think Aurier's been very good this season, to be fair. Other than like one or two, well, he had a bad, I can't remember against who, but he gave away a penalty. But other than that, Aurier has been good. It's not been spoke about because it doesn't suit the agenda with certain pundits and stuff. But Aurier's had a good season.
But he doesn't.
The one credit I'll give Jose though is, and you know my feelings about Ndombele this season or like in previous times, but I feel like Ndombele's reacted to Jose has been good. It's been
He's
good
definitely-
because
He definitely
he's definitely fed into, like, you know. I think when you're with Jose, it is literally a sink or swim situation. If he's onto you, you either need to sink. You either sink or you swim. And if you're a player
100%,
that
man.
crumbles, then it affects you badly. And I feel like Ndombele is really taken on what Jose is said to him, and he's been obviously churning out some good performances.
Look
That's
at
the thing with Jose, though.
Jesse Lingard as an example. Like, my guy flourished under Jose. Like, Jesse Lingard, good under Jose. I thought he was awful. I thought Jesse Lingard was trash until Jose got there. Then all of a sudden, what? My guy's
Jay
Jay
Yeah, no,
Beans.
I love Lingard. I love Lingard. The way he's got West Ham man dancing is mad. But
Yeah,
back to Moura. He doesn't know how to throw up L's and W's, though, does he? He ain't got a clue with that.
Yeah, I know. He's throwing L's up. He's throwing W's. You see Bale. Bale's like, what are you doing? Like,
Oh, take that.
man. All right. Before we wrap up, we've got a few midweek games. I think we've got Everton, Southampton tomorrow. What are you boys saying about that? Everton win?
Everton easy, man, all day.
Should be at the moment. Southampton had a couple of
I wouldn't say
Poor, man.
Southampton had a couple of big boy injuries, right? A couple of really big injuries recently.
They've been a bit shaky.
I don't know, you know. You see Everton, yeah? I always call them the big pretender. Like, I don't know which Everton team's going to turn up.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know, man. There could be the Everton that's losing 2-0. You know, what, are they playing home or away?
They're home. They're home. I think you see with Everton, Pickford had a good time to sit out of them couple of games. He sat out like 2 games. And since he came back, he's been a different goalkeeper.
No, but then
looks
they lost,
different.
Didn't they recently lose to Fulham like 2-0 at home?
Yeah, they did.
And that was quite recent. So it's like,
I don't think he was in goal for that though, was he?
I don't know.
You're
right in terms of Pickford's form, though. It has been better since he's been back. I just don't know which. I just don't know. You'll see Everton that will show that fighting spirit against United in the cup. And they'll have some decent performances in the league, and then they go and lose 2-0. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a tricky game. What's that?
It sounds a bit like Arsenal at the moment. Still,
we know who he is right now, man. We know who he is, but next season will be different.
Everton in transition, though. Everton are in transition. They got obviously they brought in a couple of new players: Decore, James Rodriguez, and Godfrey as well.
But that's always their situation, though, man. They've got the money. Next season, they're going to be spending a lot of money as well, and then they'll be in another transition. Then they'll go into the
the new stadium as well, and new stadium.
That as well. Yeah.
We got on Wednesday. We got a few games: Burnley, Leicester. Burnley at home versus Leicester. What were you guys saying? What Leicester will turn up for that one?
It's a good shout. Who knows?
Right now.
No, I want to say Burnley. You know, I feel like I feel like Leicester in a bit of a dip.
Burnley, man.
Yeah, Burnley.
And then we've also got Crystal Palace versus Man United. Man United being away on that one.
Woo!
I feel like his hopeless.
United got that. Palace. I think Hodgson's. This is his last season.
Is it
the end of the road? Yeah. This is the end of the
Palace
road for Hodgson.
You know, Crystal Palace have got about 15 players in the last year of their contract. So they're
I think you know what, with Palace, I rate them in the sense of just like, you know, they're really doing well by Hodgson. They're not throwing him under the bus. They're not really giving all that kind of talk that he's going to be gone at the end of the season. But they know. I think it's definitely the end of the road. He's done the best. Yeah, he's done the best as he can. And if you think about it now, if he goes into next season, what is he really going to achieve? Like,
they need a new face there, innit?
New face, freshen up, man.
Definitely. And on Thursday,
United will win that game.
We got a few juicy games on Thursday. We got Fulham versus Spurs. We got West Brom Everton. We got a big one. We got a big one at 8:15. Liverpool versus Chelsea. So that one snuck up. I didn't even know that was coming up.
That is huge, man.
Yeah,
it's a juicy game.
But that's why we needed to win today, because now With Liverpool winning, they won 2-0
Yeah,
tonight.
they
innit?
won 2-0. Yeah.
So
Who is, you know what? Who is in goal tonight for Liverpool? Does anyone know?
Adrian.
It was Adrian. Yeah. But I think they'll have Alisson back on Thursday, innit? They're not gonna.
They probably will.
It's just compassionate. I think it's compassionate reasons.
I feel he needs a minute still. He needs a minute. He's more than that.
You know what? Saying that Thursday's a bit soon. You know, he might not be back in goal. I'm just thinking about it. His dad just passed away. It's a bit soon, so he might not be in goal for that game.
And with that jet lag, that Brazil's not 5 minutes away.
Yeah, exactly. So
But they're a point behind us now anyway. So either way, it's going to be a good game for a new.
How you feeling about that time?
About the Chelsea game?
Yeah, that game against Liverpool.
It depends. It depends who starts up front, man. I think he's going to play Tammy. Tammy never didn't start.
Is Tammy injured or was he just rested?
Nah, it's just resting. Just tactically.
What about finding Timo?
Finding Timo's got to find the back of the net, man. That's what the only thing he's got to focus on now. But
finding Timo. Man scored the scrappiest goal, boy, and he didn't even want to celebrate.
You know why I love Arsenal fans, yeah? They'll still, shameless. They'll still do all of this, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Go up, man. Doesn't matter.
Let them have it, man. Let them have it.
Man, go at Tottenham, man. Season
you see us Arsenal fans, yeah? We're strong to the core, bro. We don't crumble. It doesn't matter. We're still at you.
One win the ball back. You man get over sore throats quickly, bro.
Easily. You lot don't want us winning again, man. When we start winning again, hi! Oh my God.
Hey, Buff, I
don't want to see me here, boy.
Listen,
but Chelsea have to batter Liverpool. I need that. I need Liverpool to finish out the top 4. But you know what? you missed the game.
I can't see them battering them. I can't see Chelsea.
No. It's interesting though. I feel Chelsea controlled the game today. I do feel
100% we did.
Yeah, 100%. 100% we did.
It depends if Kabak plays for them as well. Is that his name, Kabak, the centre back?
Yeah, Kabak. Yeah,
because he's awful. I don't know what I'm thinking. Why would they get someone from Schalke that isn't playing well for Schalke and bring him into a team where they need
desperate times, man. Desperate times, and bro, they got no defense.
You never heard
find someone.
Liverpool called bin dippers, bruv, for a reason. That's what they do. Don't get caught up in this. Liverpool have had one good season in the Premier League. Let's remember that.
They've had 2.
I have 2 cool. But you see the second one. You see the second one you talk of. They didn't win the league. We did. So I don't feel they need to be spoke about in that season because they didn't win it. So like Liverpool, they're back to doing what they do, like pushing for Champions League. They're great in the Champions League. In the league, they don't do this no more. So
with Liverpool, they need to get
the decline of Liverpool this season is actually mad. Like if you think about it, they're defending league champions and they've just fallen off massively.
And you know the maddest thing is, you see when they played us, when we beat them 4-1.
Yeah.
Despite all the injuries they want to tell you about, despite the fact that they're saying this is a crazy season, COVID, and all this stuff, when they played us, when we beat them 4-1, they had 9 of their 10 Champions League winners in that team. Yeah. So all the crowd they were talking about injuries, 9 of their 11 Champions League starters were in that team. Yeah. So let them carry on. You missed the game.
It'll be a good game. It'll be a good game. Chelsea. I can't wait for that game. That'll be a decent game.
I'm not sure who's going to win that one. It's going to be a tight game. I can see probably Chelsea nicking it. Chelsea defensively have been really good over the last couple of games.
We need to, man. We need to.
But it won't be it will be a tight game, a 2-1 or a 1-0. That's my feelings on it.
Giroud from Giroud near post.
Giroud poaches goal. Yeah.
Easy, man.
But you missed a game, bruv.
Who else is playing?
A small team play on Tuesday night. Sorry, a very small team.
Tuesday. Oh, sorry, Man City Wolves. Apologies. Yeah, how did I miss that? Yeah, Man City Wolves. Tuesday night. What are we saying about that?
That'll be a good game as well, man. Where's that? Is that the Etihad?
Yeah, Man City are at home.
Yeah, City all day then.
City got that.
Sorry about that. That's completely
cool. Yeah, I want to see Aguero do something, but whether we will or not, I don't know. As long as we get the points, Huh?
You got it, man.
Do you think
You guys.
I think we need to start him. Give him a few runs. Wolves at home. If you're going to start Aguero, start him against Wolves at home.
It's true, man.
I think Man City will win that one quite comfortably. To be fair, I think it'll be a 3 or 4-0. Yeah, I can't see Wolves putting up any fight in that.
Yeah, listen, we listen. Despite all the fans' rivalry and stuff like that, we don't know that Man City have got this. They've already gone clear.
We've got it.
You guys.
United can't win it. That's the reason why we've got it. Like, if I'm being 100, thinking our February was hard. We got a bit of a blessing that because of the FA Cup, our game against Chelsea at the end of the month got moved because I was a bit worried about that one. But we came into February with De Bruyne injured and a bit like, we've got the Champions League coming back. We've got Arsenal. We've got Liverpool. We've got a few tough games, yeah? And then United just started dropping points left, right and centre. Like idiots. And this is Ollie. No minerals. It's just not getting them over the finishing line. And he's just handed us the league. Like it's the point now.
But the great thing about you guys is the fact that you look Gundogan, man. He just turned up for you guys, man.
Yeah, he did, man.
He's been awesome.
He stepped in.
He did the same in 2019. You know, he went below the radar in the like January to May time of 2019, the season we beat Liverpool to it. But he did the same thing then, not with the goals, but with the performances. Like this is a thing. We've got a lot of midfielders that are just very professional. Like Pep has, and then we've got defenders that actually can play as midfielders. So we've just that's what it is. We've just got this professional thing that just get over the line. Pep, this season, Pep has earned my respect to a next level. We've just his ability to find these
and Ruben Neves as well, man, and Stones together. That's Stones
hasn't lost it. We haven't lost a game with Stones in the team this season.
He's found that run of games now. He's getting that consistency with Diaz at the back as well.
Yeah, and you know what? Stones has become the player that we saw at Everton again. Because Diaz is so strong, Stones is able to play football again. But even yesterday against West Ham, and we haven't spoke about West Ham, great team this season, yeah. Stones actually defensively looked fucking strong yesterday again.
Yeah, he looked good.
And in the air, we for the first time under Pep, we looked decent in the air again.
Yeah.
Things are good.
All right, boys.
Defensively, got that right.
So I think it's time to wrap it up. It's been a great show.
Great show.
I'd like everyone to sign out. So Daps, where can they find you?
Never a Foul on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify. I think everything pretty much. So Never a Foul, yeah. And I'll definitely shout out all three of you. I've definitely got some shows that I want to get all three of you on 100%.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, man, 100%.
And T Dot, where can they find you? Talk your talk.
Yeah, so me like Twitter, Instagram at T._producer. That's my personal sort of tag, and then the PTTW podcast is the podcast that I'm on as well. So yeah, man, just catch some vibes of us on there as well.
Wicked. And last but not least, the Cheeky Dash. Where can they find you, bro?
Appreciate the show, man, guys. And once again, yeah, man, you guys have been fantastic today. Yeah, man, A Dash of Sports. Got my weekly show on YouTube, so you can find me on there. A Dash of Sports also on Instagram, so that's all for like your daily updates and trending stories and stuff like that. And I'm also on Stereo, so if you want to come and just have like a one-on-one chat, come and find me on Stereo as well, man. Dashiki Dash. Follow me. We can have just some casual chats about sports and just talk about
and you talk all sports, UFC and boxing and all of that as well, yeah?
Yeah, man. Boxing, UFC, MMA, anything like that, man. Just all sports, man. So just everything just sports related, hot topics, trending stories. Yeah, cricket, man. If there's anything interesting in cricket, man, I'll talk about cricket.
I'm out on cricket.
Yeah, darts, man. I've spoken about darts. I've spoken about cricket. I've spoken about everything, man. So, yeah, man. I just hit up all the trending stories, you know what I mean, and everything like that, man. So, A Dash of Sports YouTube. Find me on Instagram, and I'm also on Stereo as well for the Casual Chat, man, podcast.
Fantastic. And obviously, I'm Patrick Tyrant. You guys should know me already. When you see the T, you see the P. When you see the P, that represents T. Let's go.
Hey.
All right then.
Let's go. But yeah, no, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thanks for all the comments you lot left. And yeah, you guys, as in the pundits today, you lot have been fantastic. I look forward to working with you guys again. And yeah, peace everyone.
Love, man.
Appreciate it.
Let's
Peace and love and
Love, man.
blessings.
Love.